Welcome to Algolia Tips. The first topic I'm going to cover is Google Analytics. And I'm going to talk about why we think it's so important to integrate your service with Google Analytics. And this is both for customers as well as for folks who might be new to Algolia. Before we jump into the details of integrating Google Analytics with Algolia, I wanted to give you an overview of what Algolia is and the value we deliver. Essentially, we sit between your data and your front-end user experiences, which again could either be search, browse, or recommendations. So why do people care about that? Number one is impact. So how can improving relevancy improve your business performance? And top line metrics are usually the most important to our clients. Things like conversion rate, engagement with your content, and engagement stats within your app like daily active users. Also, folks care about time. Algolia makes building and managing search and discovery experiences easier. So for your people, that means saving time and money, which means more bandwidth to focus on initiatives such as personalization. The last thing is visibility. So you invest in Algolia, you invest in the effort to improve your search and discovery experiences, then you want to be able to measure the impact and iterate so that you can continuously improve. And this is, where most of my focus will be today, because this video is talking about integrating with Google Analytics. And the topic is one I'm passionate about because I've seen it's the easiest way for our clients to optimize impact and measure the value they're delivering to the business. And for those who aren't familiar with Google Analytics, it allows you to gain insight into what users are doing on your site. And our focus will be on search. So I'm going to walk you through some examples of some applications here, but you can get visibility to things like adoption. So how many people are interacting with search today, this month, this year? And with Algolia, we absolutely want to see adoption increasing on search after you invest in rolling us out. You can also look at things like what percentage of your visitors are searching versus browsing and corresponding conversion rates. So there is a huge benefit with conversion with users who search versus browse in general. But with Algolia, we want to optimize that. So let's say, your users convert at 2x the level on search versus browse today. We're aiming to get closer to 4x so that you're realizing more value. And again, you should see these numbers grow if your search experience is improving. Also, you can track things like, this is, I think, a relevancy metric. What percentage of users who search versus click. What we're looking here at is the total number of search sessions and what percentage of those sessions have a click event out of those around 20,000. This is also a great way to measure if engagement is increasing as a result of your search. And this is just a fun stat to back up what I just spoke about with higher conversion rates with search versus browse. This is extrapolated by Nacho Analytics is where I got this data. But it just shows Amazon versus Walmart versus Etsy versus Best Buy and the conversion rates they see with no search where the user is just browsing their site versus when users are searching. You will notice that Amazon blows the competition away with almost 6x conversion with search versus browse. They also have 800 engineers focused on relevancy, which most companies can't invest that level of resources, but does speak to the ROI they are receiving from that investment with these stats. I also thought it might be a helpful benchmark if you're not using Algolia but want to see how your search stacks up compared to these. So in order to implement this, I wanted to walk through the steps on how you can take advantage of this. Again, whether you're an existing client with us or a new client, what I'd recommend is you implement Google Analytics if you haven't already. So if you're new to Google Analytics, what I'd recommend is first you need to add a little snippet of code, analytics.js, to your site so that you can start tracking your users or interactions. And then you can log into your Google Analytics account, and in the settings section, you'll see an option to enable site search tracking. And you also can specify query parameters, which is something I'd suggest. In addition, if you're an e-commerce client, there is a separate section for enabling e-commerce, and I would also suggest enabling that capability so that you can get richer analytics and are just actually tracking some valuable actions that you can incorporate into the ranking formula. Let me elaborate on that. So I'll just use a quick example. So within Google Analytics, you can track things like how many times was a product added to a cart, or how many times was there a checkout for that individual product. So why that's useful in Algolia is we can then leverage that data to improve your core relevancy. So many times if you don't have a great popularity metric linked with your content, GA data, whether it's kind of views of that page or checkouts, can be leveraged. So for e-commerce clients, for example, let's say you don't have a metric on how many times your product has been sold in the last week. Well, once GA is linked, you have that insight, and you can put that into the ranking formula to say, I want to look at textual relevance as well as business relevance. What are the products that are selling really well right now? And this is a really quick way to up your game on relevancy with very minimal effort. So hopefully this is useful. Really, two goals that I have for clients with this is, one, give you better visibility to the impact Algolia is having. And the second is, if your data isn't where you want it to be, you can bring in those valuable inputs from Google Analytics into the Algolia ranking formula easily. And I've seen it have an incredible results with increasing conversion rates and engagement. So highly suggest it. Quick win, and hopefully this is useful for the community.
Analytics today.
Integrate Google Analytics today.
And go down the 2 dots for that.